I don't have any caffeine this morning. Kachoy. Kachoy. How we doing, Lions? Let's go. Liquidation time. Previously on Kimba TV. So no long for me yet. Yes, I would take that long if there's structural edge, like a swing fail. Open interest edge, like bottom shorts. I don't really care for longs to get squeezed, but I would like to get more bottom shorts. And I would love a hidden CVD bull div. Okay. This doesn't even smell like English breakfast too. Let me try this. How we doing, chat? It's too easy up in the bed. How we doing, chat? Let's go. It's Friday vibes. Let's go. Olympic on bod says 15-second TA after breakfast. Do you need 15-second TA? Do you remember what I said yesterday about today's 15-second TA? But today, like every day is a great way to figure out if you're really learning and improving. Do you know what this says is kind of like what you would be looking for? So this low got cleaned, if you remember. So it's this, and this. So there's a couple of things. One is there's no gap. Okay, it would be different if there was a gap. So U.S. markets are open right now. So if you know how you have value area high, value area low, settlement, 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 settlement. Based off of this, you would have wanted to look for a bearish retest. So if RTH had a gap, you're looking for a bearish retest. Okay? Yeah, there is a small chance that it's like, that's it, clean it and then go. But yeah, you're probably looking for a, like a short around 85.2. But the single print down here becomes very, very important. Sounds good. So, you know, mathematically, it's probably too much risk to try and long until the CME single print gets tapped. But next week, I'm going to expect you to know shit like that because it's basic strategy, okay? If you keep asking me, you're going to lose your chance to really test yourself, I feel like. I didn't have anybody to ask. Okie dokie. So yeah, no long, only shorts. You can either short value area low, settlement, or single print. I shorted Sol during ETH. Yeah, you probably want to stop doing that, right? Especially with Sol having its own CME. Yeah, so keep them coming, Ariudri. But like I said in the morning, and like I say every day, I don't want to cheat you from your own learning experience. You're more than welcome to ask me, but really be asking yourself, is there somebody else that might be learning faster or better than I am? Honey Bop says, holy shit, have you seen gold dump? Yup, and we talked about it yesterday. Yeah. Do you remember what we said about gold? I said you don't want to be longing up here. there's going to be a pullback. And I've shaved like, I think 78. I think there's only 4 more entries that I have left, and I had like 20 something. But I only have a little bit left, and I'm just constantly moving my stop loss in profit. So my last batch is right here, like a little bit like right here. Yeah, but yeah, we already said that there's going to be a pullback, and you don't want to be longing gold up there. And yeah, most of my long is closed out. I have like 15 to, I don't know how much. I think I have 4 or 5 left. But BingX doesn't combine your entries, so. Also regarding 5400 and 76, 72, 65, whatever balance would you primarily expect at a new higher time frame, higher high, or should a pullback for the? It depends on the data, Thomas. Yeah, it depends on how many longs get closed at 76, 72, 65. It depends on if shorts are trapped. Obviously, the same thing for CME. It depends if longs absorb the shorts. You know, is there a CVD divergence? Yeah, so it would still depend on how it bounces. Yeah, there's really no way to get around being able to read the data and make the decision if it's bullish or bearish yourself. There's no way. Yeah, if you can't look at a level and see that it's rejecting or bouncing, and if you can't say, hey, this is bullish, or hey, this is bearish, or hey, there's no edge, you're going to get fucked no matter what. No matter what. Yeah, there's just simply no way to predict the future. You got to be able to react. Yeah, it would depend, Thomas, on how many shorts are trapped, how many longs got squeezed, if the CVD actually shows bullish absorption or bearish exhaustion. But yeah, I think I'll get the 76 long on Monday. So we'll see what it looks like at that moment. Yeah, I would be thinking 76 long. Or the 70 long Monday or Tuesday. That's the way that I would be thinking. And I will just sit here and hopefully I don't get stopped out on the short over the weekend. That's it. Grimes says Bugamas. Yes, Bugamas. Bugama mama. Any other questions? You guys good? Thomas, you good? What do you got going on over the weekend, Thomas? Boston boy, I would guess your stop loss is around 85.4 ish. Yeah, basically it would be above the VWAP if that's what you're. So yeah, like yeah, 85.4, 85.5, anything beyond value area high, really. Yeah, and then for the long, I'm not in a long, but for those of you that are in a long, stop loss should already be in profit or break even, but you definitely don't want to lose that. So stop loss and profit below the long, below the that line would be your stop loss for the long. Greenfinger says, will the motion cap white line in the bottom right ever make a return? Yes, it will. Probably next week. Yeah, I mean, I still got to do that this weekend. I'm going to try to maybe get the auto-tune thing done, maybe the motion cap. But I'm probably going to fly back to New York this weekend. So, yeah, maybe even a small little pit stop in Vegas on Sunday. Dimitri says, why do you use 30-minute chart always? I don't, but it's the most common because of TPO rules. So make sure you nerd out on TPOs, okay? For TPO, 30-minute is usually the best, especially for single prints. But I always look at, you know, whatever is the most reliable. So if I start to notice that 1 hour is best, I will look at 1 hour. If I start to feel like 30-minute is best, I'll look at 30-minute. It's pattern recognition. So whatever is the best. All right. And you said, what is your stop loss on your short. So exclamation rewind. Somebody just asked me and I just told that person about 7 minutes ago. For me, it's going to always be VWAP and value. Okay? Do you understand right now that yesterday we talked about longing this? I just said that if you're long, I'm not in a long, but your stop loss is right there. Okay? Are you able to identify it and look at levels? This morning, we talked about shorting the settlement, the single print, and VWAP. So some people are long from here. Some people are short from here. There's really no right or wrong. Okay? What if you are shorting from here, or if you are longing from here, what you're looking at is value area low, because you're going to be able to sweep to value area high. So I am going to shave some here. I'm going to shave some here, and I'll get stopped out completely on the short here. And by the way, we're talking about my small shorts, right? You're talking about my small shorts, right? The giveaway stuff. If you're talking about my small shorts, I'm going to just give this away anyways. So, yeah. Like if you're talking about small stuff like this, I'm going to just give this away to somebody. I'm going to give this away to somebody. I'm going to just give this away. If you're talking about this, you know, then it's going to keep going. Yeah, so the small shit, like the day-to-day stuff, yeah, I'll close it out. I'm not going to close out my bigger one. And do you know how I would try to take a long here? It would be either if VWAP is turned into support or if settlement is turned into support. At 76, maybe not. It depends on the data. I don't close positions. I don't open positions on random levels. I close and open off of data. So yeah, if it looks bullish structurally, open interest, CVD, absorption, exhaustion, S&P confluence, then I'll close it at 76. Otherwise, I'll see you at 70, bro. Dimitri, go back and listen to when I was talking about I'm not scared of shorting 86. I said it for a fucking week. A week and a half. And you can hear me go, can you imagine if I have an 86 short and it goes all the way to blank? Did you know that I've been talking about all this shit? You've only been watching me for 2 days. Got you. If you go back to 2 weeks ago, like a week and a half, you go to the Discord and ask the Lions, okay? But ask the people watching how long ago I've been talking about, I'm not scared to long, especially before FOMC, bro. I was already talking about, I'm not scared to short 86, 87. I'm not scared to long 80. I'm not scared to long 76. I'm not scared to long 72. And in that conversation, I go, but can you imagine a short from 86 all the way to 70? Okay? Yeah, but Dimitri, who cares what I'm doing? Who cares what I'm saying right now? You know, at the end of the day, you need to find levels that you like, and you need to be able to read the data and figure out if it's bullishly reacting or bearishly reacting. You know what I mean? So don't put too much emphasis into what I'm saying. Make sure that you know how to read the data. If you know how to read the data, you know exactly what I'm going to be thinking, because I don't make shit up. I just go off of what the data says. Okay? If there's 3 out of 4 bullish edge, I'm probably in the long. If there's no bullish edge, I'm probably not in the long. If there's bearish edge, I'm probably in the short. If there's no bearish edge, I'm not in the short. And there's only 3 types of edge that I like, that I've been talking about for the last 3 years: open interest, structure, and divergence. Is an electronic high. It's not RTH. Okay, so I think that's going to get grabbed. This low is a ETH low. Okay, so that's RTH. ETH went lower, right? So that 76 low is a ETH low. It is not a regular trading hours low. So what does that mean? Like, do you remember the conversation we had and we nerded out on all the probabilities and I showed you guys examples and all that shit? That was like 2 weeks ago. So elder brother, if you have the time to, definitely get caught up on all that kind of breakdown stuff that we did, okay? So we lose this, I'll see you at 76, if you remember, right? And do you remember yesterday, bro? Even before this happened, okay? Even when it was doing this, I said, as long as bulls hold this, it's bullish. You know that I drew this box, like even when it was doing this. Like I've been thinking about this for quite some time now. And that box has always been like, you know, as long as we stay above that, we're bullish. I would be curious for you to rewind and see what I said. I may have even said the words, as long as we stay above that, 76 was the low. I may have even said something like that. But I said it multiple times that I wasn't predicting that we're going to go down there. I'm not saying that it's a good long down there. I'm saying that bulls need to hold that if it's going to be bullish. Otherwise, we lose that, we're going to go to 76. So your question was, isn't 76 possible that it was low? Yes. That's kind of what I've been talking about and eyeing for like the last 2-3 days, if you think about it. And I guess the point that I'm trying to make is whether you're talking about M2, whether you're asking me now, it comes full circle, doesn't it? I would be really curious, you know, like what wording I used. Yeah, but that's why, like, it's so important that you believe in what you believe and you trust what you see. You know, my interpretation is if 82, 82.5, this zone is lost, okay, then we're going to go to, like, it's shit, you know. But if we can hold 82, you know, I'm talking about grab that single print and bounce type of shit, then yeah, I would say that 76 is the low. Yeah, so I mean, in a weird way, brother, you and I probably agree, you know, in some type of way. And also in a weird way, I've been ready for this since yesterday. So I've already been inadvertently, indirectly, not maybe the same way you do, but I already have been thinking about, is the 76, could that be the low or not? Isn't that cool? And even before we anticipated this, like we already anticipated this. You know, so like it's not, can't really predict the future, but it's like a decision tree. You know what I mean? Like if it breaks this level, if it breaks X level, then it can do this, it can do this, it can do this, it can do this, right? So like if it breaks the swing high level, how do we come up with this line? That's the peak of your bad high. 30-minute candle close, swing fail pattern. Even if we get into a Pico perfect top short, we need to be aware of this. This could fuck us. The literal words that we played yesterday, right? You need to have a plan and anticipate. Okay, so if we get into a short from here, but if we see a bounce from here, you need to anticipate this. If this plays out this way, you need to anticipate this, and then you need to anticipate this. And you need to anticipate this, and you need to anticipate this. If this, then we're gonna go to 76. And then all the different decision trees about what we would do at 76 start to come to fruition. If it does this, then all the decisions that we would think about for 90, 92 come to fruition. Because if it can hold this, then I would agree with you, 76. And then I would see, 92, 90, somewhere in here. Easy money, Bugatti money. And if it's really going to go to 90, if you truly believe that it's going to go to 90 or 92 like me, then does it really matter if you have an entry at 82.5, 83, 83.5, or even 84? You either know what you're doing or you don't. So I'm glad that it wasn't some, statistical outlier, $10,000 dump or pump type of shit, But pretty normal, pretty stable, no rate cuts, so not that big of a deal. We did anticipate. Markets clearly had it fairly priced in. And, one of the reasons why we were looking for that 86, 87 short. How high did it go, actually? 87.5, that's not too bad. Swing fail pattern, pixel perfect. Sandals has no rate cuts, but we still ballin' basically. Exactly. Yeah. So not too bad. And now we're just, gonna take it level by level. I think we're all, regardless of how bullish or bearish we are, we all know how important this box is. Some of you guys were talking about 76 being the low. Yeah. If that's the case, y'all wouldn't lose 82. So just prove it to me that buying pressure is there, and we're good to go. But obviously, if we lose 82, then that whole buying pressure was a fugazi, and it's going to have to recheck 76, if not lower. So, but I'm down to long 76. I'm down to long 80, swing fail even. Okay? Like, let's say, for example, this breaks this, right? And, so everybody starts to get bearish and there's too much of an imbalance at 80K or something, and we get a lot of bottom shorters. I mean, that's an easy scalp long, let's get into a 50, 60 Bitcoin long and just get the, $6,000, $7,000 pop, and then get back into another short again on bearish retest. Kachoya. Ooh, stop the music. Ariudri says, Kimbo, when you look for divs on S&P, do you look at ES1 or SPX? ES1, but remember, ES1 that I'm looking at on the charts is different from the contracts that I'm looking at. So if you go to the CME website and you go to ES1, you're going to see a whole bunch of different contracts. Same with Bitcoin too. But obviously the divs that I'm looking at, the Boo Gammas, they're all 0 day, which means that they're only relevant at market open and they're irrelevant at market close. And especially on a day like Friday, it's already, what time is it? It's almost 3 o'clock in New York. Most people they're not coming back and babysitting their trades, Most people already got out and they're heading home and, starting the 3-day weekend, or not the 3-day weekend, but starting the weekend early. So there's going to be different divs on different contracts. And that's when you're going to maybe hear me talk about the day-to-day trade as maybe a potential S&P scalp long. But on the bigger, grander scheme of things, I still might be higher time frame bearish on S&P, right? So it kind of gives me confluence of still being aware that we might be able to get a 76 or even a 70 long, maybe even like a 68 long. Yeah, so higher time frame, it's still a little bit inconclusive. I would actually say that it's, I mean, here, you tell me. Let's look at it together, brother. This is daily. So this is daily S&P, you know? It's breaking structure, and until I can see like this is showing me higher highs, higher lows. Yes? Would you say that on the daily time frame that it has broken the higher low? And whether you want a higher low or a higher high, you have a lot of work to do. So like you can look at the higher time frame. Okay, well you really that's really fucked. Okay. But you know, you go into like 4 hour, for example, and you're looking at something like this, or maybe even on 30-minute, you know, bouncing off of where it did, especially if you're like a math enjoyer. You know, no real big surprise, I feel like. And that's RTH. If you go with ETH and you include everything, you're going to be able to see this. So that's done. Greenfinger, you good? Larry, you good? Chef, Triple J, Bo, congratulations. Hellfish, congratulations. Well, we got through another week, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to see where RTH, Gap, and Open takes us on Monday. I'll be here bright and early to get that 15-second alpha TA going. Stay safe. Even if it is the weekend, I'll still take that long if it goes and grabs it. You know, I would just put my stop loss at break even because CME, RTH, and even ETH is paused, and so that single print getting grabbed does not count, but I'll still take it. All right, Greenfinger. Ariudri, I wish we could have seen the reaction on the CME single print together, but even better that they're saving it for Monday. All right. If it goes to the bottom of the box, the 82.5, the 82,000, I'm still going to take it, especially if it's a bull div and a swing fail pattern of all those funky lows. Do you have any questions before we say our goodbyes, Ariudri? Yeah, so Monday would be nice, but I will still take the long if it's a swing fail pattern. And so that means that it goes below, but it closes back above. And if that's a bull div. The open interest, I'm not going to really too care about because it's the weekend. So since it's the weekend, it's low volume. So even if there is a lot of open interest, it's still low by default because it's weekend. And the single print hasn't technically been tapped because ETH and RTH CME are both paused. So more than likely, it's going to get cleaned and swept anyways. Okay, but I will take it just in case CME leaves it. Okay, especially if there's like a gap, a bullish gap. So I'll still take it, but more than likely we should expect to get cleaned on Monday. All right, but I'll still take it though, especially if it's a bull div. You know what a bull div is, right? It'll be a regular more than likely, and so that means that it's going to be a lower low, but the oscillation is going to make a higher low. It's going to most likely be a lower low, but the oscillation should make a higher low. Okay? So if it does this and it closes above that level, okay? And this also showing an oscillation like this. Sounds good? Ariudri, and if it doesn't, then I'm probably not in it. Okay? If it is a swing fail, then more than likely my entry is either here. Let's say that there is no bull div. I'm still in it, but more than likely my entry is here and my stop loss is wherever this is. If there is an anticipatory bull div, then I probably have my entry here. But that's the best I can do with what I have in front of me, okay? At the end of the day, it'll depend on if, you know, this would help, but I don't need it. Lurson says on CVD or RSI. That's a great question. So do you know what the difference is between CVD and RSI? Okay, that's the first thing. And do you know that CVD is a little bit more volume related, and over the weekend the volume is low? So I think in general things like VWAP or CVD divergences are a little bit less reliable because of the fact that the volume is lower. So any sort of edge based off of volume might not be that reliable. So I'm okay with an RSI. I would love both, but I'm okay with an RSI, Larson. But it's up to you, okay? Cumulative volume divergence is going to indicate the difference between limit orders and market orders, right? I think RSI is a little bit more better in a low volume environment, but it's up to you. Ideally, I have both, okay? But I know that based off of the previous weekends, we might not necessarily get CVD divergences that are reliable. Sometimes they're bullish or bearish and they don't actually help us. So I'm okay with no CVD divergence just because I know that it's a low volume environment. And by definition, even if it was a CVD divergence, I don't know if I would be able to trust it. But you can go back and look at the previous weekend price action, or just start paying attention to them, not just this weekend, but all the weekends upcoming. And I think you'll start to figure out if you can really trust CVD divergence over the weekend. What would make you, you know, if there's an extraordinary amount of volume that comes in, then of course you can obviously trust it. But if there's no volume that comes in, it's up to you on whether volume-based oscillating data would be, you know, important to you or not. And don't just let one weekend be the fucking say it all, be all for you to be like, this is how I'm going to evaluate data every single time. You know, you're going to, I think, need to compare and contrast different weekends. Obviously, a 3-day holiday weekend, big difference. Obviously, if it's a monthly or a quarterly expirations like next week, all right, could be a little bit different. So there's, you know, not every weekend is the same. Different volume is going to indicate significance. Sounds good? But I think if you can just understand CVD divergences, and if you can understand RSI divergences, and I'm talking about really understand the difference, then I think you already know which ones you would be acceptable with, which ones you would want, and which ones would be like the perfect scenario, like having both. Sounds good? Yeah, but I think you got it. But, you know, I could tell you it's the weekend, and so, you know, I would be okay with RSI, but then if fucking there's a whole bunch of volume that comes in, you definitely should be paying attention to that. And last but not least, don't just be looking at one exchange and trying to figure out what the outcome is going to be. It's really the pattern within all the exchanges. So if you see a bull div on Bybit but a bear div on Binance, which one usually wins out? That's the better play than, oh, I see this on this exchange. Okay, so, and if you really want to just keep it simple, just be patient and wait until Monday. Ka-ching! Thomas, what time frame for the SFP during weekend for you? 1 hour or 4 hour? 4 hour. But also, Thomas, you are compensating with more time because you don't have that much edge. And so by default, I'm saying 4 hour because of what I just said. I don't think a CVD divergence, even if you got it, would be eligible for it to be edge. Okay, that's why I just said I would still take a long here if there's only one edge, and I would just put my stop loss at break even hella quick. Okay, Thomas, but probably 4 hour. Blink John says, in my opinion, it's easier to find edge with CVD on a failed auction, and RSI would be stronger with a momentum move such as SFP. I love it. It makes sense. Candlestick says, I love you, bro. I love you back. The giveaway is just a cherry on top. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Enjoy. I don't know if you're going to get it tonight or if the guys in the Singapore office have already left for the weekend, and you might get it on Sunday evening. All right, Fartinachi. But like you said, man, the giveaway is just cherry on top, you know? And I'm glad that you found us. I'm glad that we found you. It's a great honor for everybody here to have you here. And let's keep doing it, Candlestick. How was your FOMC week? You ready for next week? Do you understand, or at least have a general idea of why RTH gap? I mean, every fucking Monday I feel like is important, and every Friday I feel like I say this, but do you understand why RTH gap is so important and could be really exciting? Because there's a big bearish scenario if we open below 82.5, for example. If the markets dump over the weekend and RTH, not just ETH, but RTH opens with a bearish gap, meaning that it's below our 82.5 or 82,000, oh my God. We could be looking for a bearish retest to try to ride that bitch all the way down to 76. You know? That would be easy. It's probably not going to do that, but I would want everybody to be able to capitalize on shit like that. You know? Think about like what it would mean if RTH opens below here. So I'm talking about a scenario where Monday morning at 9:30 New York time, ding, 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 we open like this. I mean, you know, hella people are going to try to short that, which means that it's probably going to be like this. That could be a short. You know, and you're already kind of seeing it play out on traditional markets. Like it really wanted to fill the entire gap. So like that didn't close the whole gap, that wick. This did. And it also pixel fucked the line and the VWAP. So maybe a little bit of a foreshadowing for Monday. Maybe Monday is the week high, and that's the week high. But you know, a lot of people are going to be looking for that if we open below RTH gap. You know, so most likely it's going to just open inside. Even if it opens inside, you're going to be looking for a bearish retest on Monday anyways, I would assume. So that's if it goes down, and then if it goes up, then you're probably looking at that 85.5, 85.7, 85.8, basically between 85.5 or 85.2 and 86 is your liquidity cluster. So, all right, candlestick. So stay safe. Maybe weekend squeeze. Did you see all the liquidity up here? All the way to like 85.8, 86 basically, all the way to that naked point of control, okay? But don't forget to keep things all in sight. All right. So anyways, I love you guys. I'll be here. I'll be back again early. Maybe weekend stream, maybe not. All right, and yeah, y'all stay safe, man. Sounds good? Hey, those profile pictures now. Hey, we're taking steps, baby. Giveaway bot, let's go. Night boss, Stream Elements bot, let's go. Coin Nerd AI, let's go. Ka-chay. Lions, I love you guys. Hey, Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss, Sato.